are now entering Armbar Audio.
Go ahead. Sorry about the technical difficulties, guys, but yeah, we're good. Go ahead, Tim.
Wait, what? We're on?
Yeah,
Well, I didn't know that was happening. I'm making a post on Twitter right now.
I already did that. You were good.
You already did that?
Hold on. Something's not right. One
Did
second.
you link the stream?
I did.
Whatever. Cool. Sorry. Sorry everybody. Welcome to an Armbar Audio live stream, and we are here to discuss today's AEW All In. But first, we would be remiss if we did not spend a little bit of time honoring the late greats Terry Funk and Bray Wyatt. Um, Terry Funk has influenced a lot of people that we love. Um, I've only seen a handful of his matches. I really love the match he had with Flair where he pile drove Flair through a table. That was pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
But I've known about Terry Funk for a long time. I mean, when I was a kid, he was Chainsaw Charlie, and he whenever we sponsored uh Fight Forever, which was GCW all day streaming during pandemic. I remember his High Spots commercial where he just kept screaming, "Fight forever, fight forever." I loved it. Um, and what can you say about Bray Wyatt?
Yeah.
He is one of the main reasons that I stayed a WWE fan far after I was done with it. The Wyatt family, Shield, and Daniel Bryan were pretty much my reasons to watch that show. Um, the first time I saw Bray Wyatt was in FCW, and I flipped and I brought my friend over to the computer and I said, "Look at this shit." Um, he was a creative genius. He did a lot, but he had so much more to do. And um, seeing everyone say how kind he was as a human being, and seeing videos posted by people like of him being
Mm-hmm.
kind to other people, it's like I wish I would have known that guy. Um,
Same. Same.
I mean, last year, Sid, both of us didn't watch WWE anymore,
Yeah.
and John was still here, and we all tuned into Extreme Rules based on the rumor that Bray was returning, and we all marked. We
We
all
did.
marked out. So,
We did. That was
Sid,
awesome,
I know you love Bray a lot, so
man.
you can.
Like, okay, when I first saw Bray Wyatt, I definitely was spooked, which is obviously the reaction that any normal human being I'm sure would have seeing Bray Wyatt.
I'm not normal. I thought it was
No, it
fantastic.
was fantastic. No, 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 no. It was great. Don't get me wrong. Well, before we talk about Bray, I mean Terry Funk. I think I've also only seen a handful of his matches. I think the match that I personally liked of Funk was the exploding barbed wire death match he did with Onita in was it OMW or one of those? Yeah, I know. See, Tim, you're impressed. I actually watch other wrestling now. I know.
FMW.
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 FMW. Yeah, I'm sorry, not OM. I'm getting FMW and OVW mixed up. I'm my bad. But yes, that was a freaking awesome match, and I loved it. I know they tried to replicate it in AEW, but whatever. 69 Midon, whatever. But no, that was cool. He definitely was, I would say a pioneer for the hardcore style of matches. Like you see a lot of these matches out here. Like there's some Terry Funk influence in some of your favorite hardcore matches.
But the funny thing is,
Yeah.
Sid, that before he became hardcore, he was a really good wrestler. Like he was a good brawler and he was a good wrestler. Like he changed with the times and he did it like effervescent. Like
Hmm.
he was he just it was it's just amazing.
It was. I agree. And okay, so Bray Wyatt, I guess I'll talk about him for a little bit. Like, yeah, when I first saw him, he was the first time I ever saw Bray Wyatt was like the promo he did, the little promo package for John Cena versus him at WrestleMania 30, and I was like, man, who is this guy? This is crazy. He's like another Undertaker almost, but I would say actually he is a way more uh, in-depth character than Undertaker, in my humble opinion. I loved his stuff he did. Of course, when even the feud he had with Matt Hardy, it wasn't bad. It was okay. Like it had some fun stuff in there. The Ultimate Deletion was a decent thing. Like I've still stand on record by calling it a beautiful disaster, and I feel like that's what it was. But I mean, like the thing with Bray is like he always,
See,
yeah,
when you're talking about feuds and stuff like that, I immediately think of John Cena, Daniel
John Cena,
Bryan
yeah.
slash Bryan Danielson, Randy Orton. Like uh the match, not the Mania match with Orton, but the one that was in a house. Like that was wild.
The House of Horrors match, yeah.
Um
Like okay, it wasn't
yeah,
great, but
and
it was different.
it was yeah, he did a lot of different stuff and like that Firefly Funhouse match
Dude,
was I watched
you
it
and
the
I
other
marked
day
the
and
crap out.
yeah, I love it. And when I watched it recently, like this past week, I was like, is this an actual match or was this all in the character of Bray Wyatt's imagination?
Right?
And either way, I was happy with it. I was happy with it when it happened, but still, I just like my favorite iteration of Bray Wyatt was the original
The
cult
the
leader.
cult leader, yeah.
And um like I didn't find him that spooky because his personality had parts of there's parts of me that are that that believe
Oh.
the things that he was kind of saying. Like he was very, very anti-society and very kind of almost conspiracy theorist,
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of like
but like vague enough to not be labeled that. And uh I just
yeah.
I couldn't believe that the guy named Husky Harris, who's a tank that moves like a Ferrari,
Mhm.
was doing this stuff. And
He I'll tell you this. For me, I loved the cult leader stuff, but I'm sure you know this, but my favorite iteration definitely was the Firefly Funhouse slash the Fiend, because when he was going out, like, cause this was after the Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt storyline, the Deleter of World storyline. He was going away to get repackaged. Hardy was going off to get surgery or something, and then we started seeing these cool vignettes, these little things like the buzzard coming out of the box, the weird witch. I was like, I immediately saw that. I was like, that's Bray Wyatt. He's coming back. That's just cool. And at the time, I would say that's when I really became a big Bray Wyatt fan. Like I liked him a lot in the cult leader stuff, and then when he did this, I was like, "What the freaking hell is this? This is awesome!" You know, because it was like a creepy, demented kids show. It's like Mister Rogers on crack or something like that, you know, or whatever. And I think from there we really got to see like what kind of a mind Bray has, like the creativity that comes out of him. Like that man could have taught a master class in storytelling, and like because like he connected everything. He connected Husky Harris to the Bray Wyatt characters, and he connected the cult leader to the Fiend, and even when he came back in Extreme Rules, he was connecting everything to that. So it's like, you know, he's like, I think he's basically like a comic book character, you know, and I feel like, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I said that if Bray Wyatt, like at that time, we didn't know, you know, he was gonna pass, but I said if he ever decided to retire from wrestling, he should be going into movies and using the Fiend as like a horror movie character. And speaking of which, apparently when Bray in 2021, when he got fired, first of all, we were both like absolutely gutted that he got fired. And then, you know,
Did he get fired, or
he got
just
fired.
not renew his contract? Or oh, jeez,
He got fired.
that's weird.
He got
That
released.
is so weird to think that he got released.
Yeah, it's
Like
terrible.
out of everybody,
Yeah,
because seeing SmackDown the other night and just seeing everything on wrestling social media and multiple different promotions, it's just like,
yeah.
how could anybody have ever
Excuse
released
me.
this dude?
I have no
You
clue,
know?
man. I have no clue. And no, but like when he came back, like what was I saying? Yeah, we were gutted, and then he came back, and so like he it was weird because when he was fired, there were reports that he was filming a movie. So I'm wondering what about that? Like I'm just wondering if they're still gonna put it out as like a posthumous release of his, or what they're gonna do with that. I do hope they make it. I do hope they put it out finally and have a little thing that says in memory of Wyndham Rotunda or whatever. But oh my god. But Terry Funk,
It'll be interesting to see what his brother does.
yeah, I think a lot of people
Because
are, yeah, good,
because the truth about Uncle Howdy came out. Like, it was Bo.
yeah.
So
I mean, if he comes
it'll
out,
be interesting.
it would have been interesting though for Bo to kind of like during in SmackDown to come out with the Uncle Howdy thing and take it off and say some words. But I can kind of understand why they didn't, because you know he's taking time to be with
Because
family.
it was the day after his brother died,
Yeah, so
you know?
yeah,
Like-
I get that, man. But yeah, like for you, like what do you? Let me ask you this: like, what was like probably your favorite moment of Bray Wyatt? I know you loved his cult leader stuff, but like, is there a thing?
There's probably two that I can immediately think of.
Yeah,
One was whenever they both involved steel cages. One was whenever he was facing Daniel Bryan, and Daniel he got on his knees and told Bryan to hit him, and then Bryan didn't do it. Then Bryan whooped his ass, whooped Harper's ass, Rowan, all that. People were going absolutely insane.
that was
Loved
awesome.
it.
Yeah,
Second one, mainly, um, they both have to do with John Cena. He caught John Cena, and he did a dance with him
oh
in the
yeah,
middle of the ring.
that was
And it
awesome.
reminded me of the 1989 Batman movie with Jack Nicholson's Joker. And the last thing was Wyatt finally beat Cena in a steel cage on Raw. And when John Cena went to exit the
The
ring,
there
this
was
that little boy saying he's got the whole world in his hands, but they changed the boy's voice to be like this deep, weird,
demonic
like
kind
evil
of voice.
sounding thing. Yeah, and that's how
And
Bray
then
ended up winning.
and then Bray hugged
I
the boy. Bray hugged the boy.
Yeah,
That
yes.
that was scary. That was scary. You know.
Yeah, because it was like, okay, this is a real cult leader. He doesn't just have these
Yeah.
three bearded dudes. There's
Yeah.
children following him now.
So
I remember the last Raw, I believe, before the Mania against Undertaker was in Pittsburgh, and that's when the lightning struck his chair,
oh yeah.
and he started laughing. I just like these are things that come to mind, but literally every time he was on my
Every time
screen,
it was on screen, yeah.
I was captivated and I was sucked in and I loved it. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't brought up the Muscle Man dance yet because
I was about
you were
to.
on that shit for like a year and a half.
I was about to. I talked about the whole. I'm talking about the whole Firefly Funhouse as a whole. Was the Muscle Man
Yeah,
dance? Yeah,
that specifically was your
it
shit.
was. That was my thing because I kept telling y'all to do it, pull up your pants and do the Muscle Man dance, and it was yeah. Go ahead.
And I do also I loved the stuff he did with Alexa Bliss.
It
I
was
thought
good.
that was fantastic.
Yep.
And like the black shit that came out of her mouth and like just her becoming a completely different type of character than she is
Mm-hmm.
because she was known as like the sparkle girl in NXT and
Yeah,
then
the
she
sparkle
became kind
splash.
of a bitch. And then but then she had a podcast that was like all like very teeny boppery.
Yeah, because
Uh
she's a big
and
Disney fan, so
and then this happened and it was like it was so cool. And but we could talk about Bray
mm-hmm.
Wyatt for
We
a
could.
day and a half
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. So, but just to close out, all I want to say is Terry Funk, Bray Wyatt, thank you for everything, your contributions to wrestling. Thank you for the good times. Thank you for the memories. Rest in peace. And I'm gonna go ahead and pour one out for both of them like that. And there you go. That's for y'all. But cheers. Anyways.
So today had to I had I had a hard time sleeping last night. I woke up at 11:30 a.m. I rushed my ass over to John's family's house so I could watch AEW All In.
Yeah.
Man, we're gonna go. We're gonna go through the card, but general thoughts.
Oh yeah. Great fucking show. I think it really did exceed expectations for me. I remember watching the first all.
That's
Yeah.
that's the thing. That's you. It's something I wanted to say, but you touched on it, and I have to get this out of my mouth. Every time AEW has a pay per view, every fucking time, without fail, everybody online is like, well, what about the build up? And I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this card. And after every pay per view, people fucking love it. And I don't know how long it's gonna take all of us to fucking deal with that. like
Mm-hmm.
realize that. But
Yeah.
go ahead. I digress.
No, you're good. Well, real quick though, we did. I am looking at the chat. We did have Jerry Lifts. He had a comment. He said, "So with them waiting on the cold turn, what's next? What's their spot at All Out? We'll get to that. Don't worry, we'll get to that.
We will definitely get to that whenever
Um,
we get to the main event.
Yeah. So please keep watching. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Please keep watching. Anyways, but I would say, like I said, when I first saw All In, like the one in 2018, I loved it. It was great. I mean, it definitely they've come such a long way though from there. I feel like some of the things that people had issues with in All In 2018 were definitely tightened up in this, because I mean, yeah, it's a bigger budget, bigger stadium, all that good stuff, but and the match quality has gotten, in my opinion, got better.
I'll say this. You talked about tightening up. There I don't know if it was the main event of All In or if it was the second to last match. The Young Bucks and
FTR.
uh somebody else
Oh no.
against Ibushi, Bandito, and Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, the Young
Like I
Bucks.
forget who was all
Rey
in it.
Mysterio was in it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Rey Mysterio, Bandito, Kota Ibushi, the Bucks, and I forget who else. But that match, because
Oh
they
yeah.
ran over times with other things, was so like super condensed, and everyone was upset with it.
Yeah.
This show, and I said it to John's mom while we were watching. I said, this feels like it's going fast, but the matches are not feeling rushed.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Exactly.
and that was great. It was really well paced show in my opinion.
For sure.
Um, but the first match that we got on the 0 hour was the ROH Tag Team Championship match. Adam Cole, well, better than you, Bebe, against the champions Aussie Open. And I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't very much pay attention.
Same.
I was I was talking to those around me. I was kind of in awe that an AEW pay-per-view looked and felt like a WrestleMania. And I saw the end with the double clothesline and them winning, and that's really all I needed to see. And
Yeah.
this got my head thinking, like, okay, they have the tag titles now. Is a turn really going to happen? I'm going to say this throughout the entire show. In the back of my mind, I kept thinking, who's going to turn? How's it going to happen? Blah, 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 blah. While I was still enjoying what I was watching.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the match did what it was supposed to do, and it was cool, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything to say about it?
I mean, I'm just was surprised that they put the titles on Cole and MJF, but I guess because I would honestly argue that it was because of fan demand and they love Better Than You, Baby, and they don't want it to end just yet. So, I mean, what better way
Well,
to keep them around with the
well,
the tag titles?
I was thinking similar. First I said, "Holy shit, they did it," and
Yeah,
second, I was like, "Okay, now I guess it turns not happening." And then I was like, "Well, you know, the turn stuff just kept going on in my head."
yeah,
The second and last match on the pre-show was for the FTW Championship. Hook against Jack Perry,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
I thought these two did great together. I really like that they're working together. Hook has um, not just been doing squashes lately. He's been getting in the ring with other people,
Mm-hmm.
like on Collision last night.
Yeah.
And he's talking more. There's more vignettes. And Jack Perry's heel turn continuously gets better. Um, the stuff happening on the car was great. Like when
Of course, yeah.
Jack Perry did the RVD Rolling Thunder, I loved it. And when he said in the camera, "That's real glass, cry me a river, bitch," I was like, "That's awesome."
Of course, yeah.
Well, let's talk about
Yeah,
that
you go. You
right
go ahead.
after.
I actually didn't watch the match that well either, so I'll let you go ahead and talk about it.
Oh, uh, that's about all I really paid attention to. I know that Hook won, and I'm happy for that.
Mm-hmm.
The FTW title should be on him. I wonder. I would like to see Jack Perry get that stable that we talked about a couple weeks ago with Menard, Parker, and Anna Jay. Um, I I wonder what's next for Jack Perry. Does this continue or is it over? But after after the match, before All In officially started, Fightful or Sean Ross Sapp, uh, in particular, said on X that
X.
before CM Punk went out to the ring for his match with Samoa Joe, he got into a physical altercation with Jack Perry.
Oh
Now,
boy.
I know, I know I've been a fence sitter on this thing for a long time, and I've kind of been on the they're grown men who gives a shit. It's a show, but it's really, really, really hard to ignore right now because if
Yeah,
that shit is true,
and it's
if
getting
that shit
crazy.
is true, Punk is a bitch. Like straight up a little crybaby, sensitive ass bitch. You can say whatever you want about anybody else, but then who knows? Jack Perry might not even have been trying to get heat with CM Punk. He might have been trying to work people like you claim you do, Punk. But you got to get physical because you're a little crybaby, sensitive ass bitch. Bitch! Get the fuck over yourself. Who the fuck are you? This shit, this continual shit reminds me of how annoyed I was at the press conference where he big leagued Tony Khan in front of everybody. And he said, "Wait, Tony." He stopped Tony from talking and then he said, "I'm trying to run a business." Wait, you got stock in AEW, bro? Is AEW in your motherfucking name? Who? Who the fuck are you, bro? Like that's how I feel right now. Because yeah, you make money, and yeah, Collision has been a fucking great show. And if you have your hands all over it, good for you. I'm glad. And I thank you for that. But at the same time, get the fuck over yourself, dude. Get the fuck over yourself before somebody really fucks you up. Like you are gonna get fucked up one day by the wrong fucking dude.
Yep.
Like you you aren't bigger than AEW. And honestly, I wish Tony Khan would just fucking like sit everyone down. Like just have a fucking meeting with the entire goddamn locker room.
Just be like,
Single his bitch ass out in front of all of them, in front of everybody. Single that bitch out and cut his balls off. Cut his fucking balls
it's like
off.
yeah, because it's like, dude, you work for
You
me.
you want a fucking job here? You want to continue to work here? Then you're not gonna fucking do this shit at every goddamn show. Can we at least get through one fucking AEW pay-per-view where I don't have, or a show where I don't have to talk about fucking CM Punk's bullshit behind the fucking scenes? I don't want to fucking talk about this.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the amazing show I just watched. But I have to talk about this because your bitch ass won't sit down.
And on top of that, Jack Barry was the one who had to leave the stadium. Punk got to stick around, and even though he choked out Jack Perry, and then Punk still stuck around. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's what happened. That's what happened. 'Cause
Apparently,
I wasn't on Twitter today. I was doing the stuff on Blue Sky.
you were on Blue Sky, yeah. Apparently, that's allegedly that's what happened. That's what reports claim, which is really fucking stupid because it's like, which first of all, I got reminded of the.
Why? How do you get away? How do you get away? If that's true, that is not in a wrestling match. That is not fake. That is not on camera. That is what you call assault and battery, my friend.
Yeah. Workplace violence. That's what it's called. You know?
Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Like, nah. If this is all true, I'm done. I'm done.
Throwing away all your
I'm
CM
fucking-
Punk shirts. just might.
I'm not fucking sticking up for him anymore. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Fuck that, dude. I've already taken what, like 3, 4, 5 minutes on here talking about this shit.
Yeah,
Fuck this
babes.
motherfucker. Yeah, he had a match with Samoa Joe. It was pretty fucking awesome. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
I thought, oh wow, I wonder if these two people, if someone sat them down in ROH when they were in their 20s and said, the biggest match of your career is going to be when you're pushing 50, what would they have done? Like that, like I think that's wild
Yep.
they've been in the business this long and this was the biggest match of their
Excuse me.
respective careers. Um, I I liked the match a lot.
It was good.
Um, and the crowd at the beginning was like 50-50 with Punk, and then by the end was just like all Samoa Joe.
Hmm.
And
But even though Punk won, like people were still okay with it. People still cheered him. So you know, I mean, yeah, like he's still a superstar.
until those 83 or 81,035 fans go home and read the bullshit that they weren't reading while they were enjoying the show.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, if you read that shit and you do not have a negative reaction, you are probably a piece of shit too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that I think that was a good segue though to the first match on the card, Joe versus CM Punk. Good, pretty good match. Definitely highlighted their rivalry and whatnot. So that was cool. But yeah, I mean, I honestly kind of wanted Joe to win, but whatever. Punk won, and we'll see. Whoever, I guess it'll be a big deal when he finally does face off against Max, because now that MJF is more or less kind of a babyface, even though he is our scumbag, CM Punk is kind of doing more heelish things, like, you know, especially spray painting the AEW title with the X and saying I'm the straight edge savior and I'm the real world champion or whatever. I mean, at some
Not
point,
only spray painting it, but spray painting the E.
yeah, on the E, because the elite suck and I am the only elite motherfucker, whatever. Anyway, it's very fucking petty. Anyways, but you know, I think at some
Here's
point,
an idea for Tony Khan. Here's an idea for Tony Khan. In 4 months, when Will Ospreay's contract is up with New Japan, throw all the money that you're giving CM Punk at Ospreay and get CM Punk out of the fucking business again. And if you
okay,
want to hire Punk, hire him on as the show creator of Collision and give him strict fucking boundaries.
that could work. All right, so yeah, Punk won the match, good match, and then we moved immediately on to FTR versus the Bucks, didn't we?
I think it was the 6 man.
The 6 man, yeah. There's like two six
I
men.
think it was Page, Ibushi,
Oh, that's right.
uh, and Omega,
Omega
versus
versus.
Takeshita and Bullet Club Gold.
I loved this match. I think this was
I
great.
did too.
Great stuff. We kind of got what we wanted to see. We wanted to see Omega and White face off. We wanted to see Ibushi and Takeshita face off. We got all their great spots. And Tim,
Yes.
go ahead.
Everything you could have wanted out of this match happened, and I feel
Yeah.
that the finish was perfect.
Hmm.
Kenny Omega was on top. He was hitting everybody with the V trigger, and his eventual singles opponent, Takeshita, who also looked fantastic in this match,
He
rolled
looked
him
great.
up for the win. I thought it was a smart move,
Yep.
smart finish. One thing I would like to say is Hangman Adam Page. I recently this week I watched our friend Mr. Warren Hayes' review of Dynamite, and he had a question, and I would like to echo that question.
All right.
Why is Hangman Adam Page not on weekly television?
Yeah, that's.
Why is he not being featured weekly? It's very odd.
Come on,
to me.
Tony. What
I
you
don't-
doing, man?
I mean, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
We
come
got
on.
people beating
We
the
know
shit
he
out of
can't be
people
on
backstage, showing up
but-
every week.
Come on, seriously, for real.
Yeah.
But all in all, I love this match. I loved hearing Jay White's theme song
Yes.
in Wembley
In
Stadium.
Wembley Stadium in
I
front of
love, I
81,000
love.
people.
There were multiple times, and it definitely hit first in this match
Hmm.
because of Juice. Okay, Juice started in FCW/NXT as CJ Parker, and I was thinking how how much his mind must be blown that he is in the second highest promotion at the biggest wrestling event of all time. Wrestling. Like
Yeah.
that that has to be fucking incredible to think about. Like to be to have that happen to you. Like same with Takeshita coming from one of the smaller Japanese promotions
Hmm.
and being in Wembley.
Yep.
Like it's wild. It's wild to think about. But yeah, good match, smart finish.
Loved it. Yeah, it was good, and I guess it looks like going into All Out, we're gonna finally get Kenny versus Takeshita, one-on-one singles match. Um, would you make it a no holds barred match, or would you just make it a straight up singles match?
I mean,
Because the
drag it out a
feud,
little. You know?
because the feud kind of warrants.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind, or put them in a cage. I don't care.
do all three. You have
Three
enough
stages of
time.
hell.
No, no, but I mean, like,
I wouldn't mind that though.
if you're gonna make it, I mean, Kenny Omega seems to be a fan of trilogies. Uh, so
Yep.
let's do that.
Yeah.
He's done it with Osprey. He's done it with Okada.
Did it with
Technically,
Moxley
it was four with Okada. Exactly. So I
and
expect
Pac and
three
Pac.
big matches.
Yep.
Yes.
We don't. Okay, just on a side
Uh,
note. On a side note, we don't. I don't feel like we talk about the Iron Man match that Pac and Omega had at one point. The 30-minute Iron Man match. That was, one of my favorite matches. Anyways,
that was another thing watching this show. There was a couple of times where I said, "Damn, I feel so bad for Pac."
yeah,
Like to be in your home country and the biggest wrestling event,
and you're not wrestling.
uh, and not be it. Yeah, like that's gotta suck.
Yeah,
Fucking testicles. But
it's yeah,
as you can see right here,
pinnacle.
this may be no more, but there are three champions on this shirt,
Yep,
and we're gonna talk about two of them right now. FTR versus the Young Bucks.
yep. I did want to mention FTR were wearing 3 armbands, one for Jay Briscoe, one for Brody Lee, and of course one for Bray Wyatt, and that was a great touch.
I loved it. I loved all the homage to Queen and Freddie Mercury
Mm-hmm.
today, um, because Live Aid happened at Wembley, and that was wonderful. The Bucks came out dressed like that,
And they did the
and
pose.
yep. This match, as you would expect from FTR and the Young Bucks, was tag team gold.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that you could tell that both teams uh, know each other
Mm-hmm.
inside and out and study each other. They the Young Bucks kicked out of a shatter machine, which has never happened
Yep.
with anybody. Um, they they did each other's moves on each other. They did their own moves on each other.
This is
I
great.
really liked the double
It's just good shit.
sharpshooter spot from FTR. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
And now FTR are gonna continually talk about their legacy. So if that annoyed you, well, strap in,
Yep.
because
Although I must say I get it, but also why did they? I like the fact that they called it Big Rig for homage to Brody Lee. I don't know why they changed it back to Shatter Machine. I mean, I guess they got the rights to
I
use it
don't, I
again,
don't
but
either. I
should have
don't either,
still
and I
called it
don't
the
like
Big
it,
Rig.
to be honest.
Yeah, they should have still
They
kept
should.
it. Yeah, And it sounds cooler too. And also, like I said, yeah, big
because
rig.
and also it looks like it's three human beings,
Yeah, and it
and
looks
they're
like a
like
rig. Yeah,
going like that. Yeah, yeah. Like I'm completely on board with that, man. I
yeah.
think the same thing.
It should just kept it as big
The
rig, man.
fourth
Anyway,
match, the fourth match was the women's championship, correct?
yes, it was.
Or was it? Did we get Stadium Stampede first?
I think we got Stadium Stampede first. You're right.
I don't fucking remember.
It
It
was one
doesn't
of.
matter. Um,
What do you want to talk about
which
first?
one do you want to talk about?
Oh God! Now I feel like the Spider-Man
Okay,
meme.
okay, okay. We'll talk about Stadium Stampede.
All right, let's
I
do
was
it.
disappointed that Eddie Kingston did not make good on his promise for setting Claudio on fire. But
Oh,
I was
yeah.
very hyped with all the violence in this match.
I loved. Okay, I gotta say this. I loved Blackpool Combat Club coming out like they did. I think I put it on Twitter, but they looked like a couple of '90s action villains, and it was great.
Yes.
It was fucking awesome. I wish Santana and Ortiz followed suit, but it's okay. It's all good.
Well, they're not BCC.
Yeah, they're
so-
not. Yeah. By the way, how good is it to see them back together?
Are they back together?
I think they are because I mean they were at least they were working
Or were
together.
they both were they working together because they both hated Eddie Kingston?
One or the other.
This is something
Hmm.
that was asked when we were watching the show today. Because it didn't I don't did they do any tag team moves together?
I think they did a
It-
couple
every
of
time
them. But yeah.
I don't know. Every time I was looking, Santana was not near Ortiz. Like I don't know. We also got Penta Obscuro, and I marked out for that because I'm a huge Lucha Underground fan.
Mhm.
The fucking skewers, were crazy.
Yep.
It's just it was chaos,
Yeah,
and I
it was
loved
good.
it.
It was great.
And I loved Eddie coming out with the barbed wire chair and just going wild, very Terry Funk-esque.
Yep.
And
That was his tribute to Terry
and
Funk.
he loves Terry Funk. And oh yeah, CM bitch had something on his wrist tape that said "Forever Terry Funk," but
And that was
nothing about
cool,
Bray
but-
Wyatt, which I thought was fucking weird
Yeah.
because like he.
I mean, hey,
worked
hey,
with
FTR
Bray
didn't have anything about Terry Funk on them, so I guess maybe that's what it was. Maybe they're like maybe FCM FTR had a meeting. They said, okay, you do something for Terry Funk, we'll do something for Bray. Fine, whatever.
Right.
Whatever.
Well, anyway, I really liked Orange Cassidy doing the Alex Cologne spot where he wrapped the tape
Yep.
differently around his fist and put it in the glass, and he hit Claudio with the Superman punch with the glass and
Yeah.
won the match.
Yeah, Orange Punch.
Sue came and
That was
John
great.
Moxley gave her a kiss,
Oh yeah.
and that was hilarious. I made I can't say tweet. I made a message on Blue Sky that Wheeler Yuta should go by Blackpool Combat Cup. I feel like that fits him
That's funny.
because he's the young boy of the group, and everybody loves to see him get his ass whooped the most.
Yeah.
Kind of disappointed that Cassidy got the pin on Claudio instead of Eddie.
Yeah,
because
that was
I'm
weird.
still-
That's a
I'm
weird
still
decision.
Wanting Claudio and Eddie for the ROH belt, and the fact that Eddie didn't get the pin kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But I also understand that, like, popularity-wise, him and Cassidy are probably neck and neck. I was entertained. I was
It was.
sports entertained.
Yeah. By the way, is it so? Okay, I guess this is a question I have. Is that like a real thing? Like, do Claudio and Eddie really hate each other? Or is that like just for storyline? Because with Eddie, you never know.
Blurred lines are fantastic. Blurred lines are fantastic, my friend. And when you're a wrestler, when you're a professional wrestler, you're a professional liar. We will never know.
Yeah. That is true. But no, I loved just about everything in this
But
match.
hey,
You know.
even if they do hate each other, at least they could fucking work together.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyways,
Yeah.
um,
I
the
mean,
women's championship match
was good.
um
It was good.
exceeded my expectations.
Yeah. I put it.
I
Okay.
was
Go ahead.
very proud. I was very proud to hear Britt Baker from Pittsburgh, PA, at Wembley because she started her wrestling journey the same place that I did when
Oh
I
yeah.
kind of thought that I wanted to do that, and I'm like super proud
Nice.
that she's from here, and
Did you
you know,
ever? Did
like
you
I
ever?
don't know her, but I'm proud of her.
Okay.
No,
That was my question.
no, but
Yeah.
but but I have a friend who's like very close with her
That's cool.
because he came up the same time as she did and Wardlow did.
Nice.
And
Nice. Nice. That's
but
cool.
but I loved the stuff with the outcasts. I
Yep.
loved Soraya's entrance with her family and
And coming
the
out to
Queen
Queen,
song.
we will rock you. Yep.
Yes, I thought that Soraya looked the best
Yeah.
that she has looked since getting back in a ring.
Yeah.
And we all knew when she signed that eventually she'd be champion, and this was the perfect place to put the title on her. Now I know people are gonna get pissed off that Sheeta only had the belt for like a month,
Yeah.
but
It was a little Yeah.
that's okay. Sheeta Sheeta can get the belt back again down the line.
Yeah.
This was the right decision. This was the right business decision.
Yeah.
Because I'll
I can
tell
see
you,
that.
that celebration, that celebration with in her home country with her family and all those people rejoicing, it was a great moment. It was a great moment, and that's another thing that made it feel like a Mania show. There were moments
That we're
in
talking
this
about. Yeah.
show, you know.
Yeah.
I love that the Outcasts imploded because
Yes.
Tony Storm's character that she's been showing on Collision, I think mainly, maybe she did on Dynamite as well. I love it. I love the like, Marilyn Monroe, like old school Hollywood icon, kind of like losing their mind a little bit. I love that for
Yeah.
her.
And
Um,
there are actual movies back in the day like that where it's like a woman who was like past her prime and she kind of is trying to get back her former glory and she kind of sacrifices her sanity in the process. There's so many movies like back in the day like that. I forgot the
mhm.
names of any of them, but I think it's like what really happened with some girl, I don't know. But like that's one of the titles. What really happened with and that person's name. I'll have to look it up at some point.
Are you talking about Baby Jane?
Yeah, that one.
Are you sure? I don't know. I
I
don't
think
know
you're
because it's
right.
old as shit.
Yeah, it's old as shit, but like it's kind of like the inspiration I see for Tony Storm's character. Like just someone
Right.
trying to get their former glory back and losing their mind in the process. Speaking of women's title, a certain someone was in the skybox, and that would be one Mercedes Monet, formerly known as Sasha Banks in WWE, and it was great to see
They
her.
showed her on the pre-show.
Yeah.
They talked about her during the women's title match, and they showed her another time that we'll talk about in just a little bit.
Yes.
But first, we will get to Will Ospreay versus Chris Jericho,
Fucking banger.
and
Love
I'm
this
gonna
match.
be. I loved it too. Uh, Fozzy playing and Jericho doing the AO, fantastic.
Yep.
Um, Will Ospreay's entrance was fantastic. His gear, oh my god, he looked like a star.
Yep. Actually, I
And
think
I said
we.
before the match started, I said to the people I was around, if Will Ospreay wins this match, I totally am convinced that he's going to sign to AEW when his NJPW contract is up. And um, Jericho did things in this match that he doesn't usually do. He did like a German on the apron. Um, he hit all of his special moves. He think he was like a little bit more acrobatic than he usually is.
Yeah.
He had his own os cutter, which kind of looked weird, but it worked. Um, Sammy Guevara at one point hit
But
Osprey
with the
in the
bat,
head while he was in the
the
walls
walls. It
of
was in the walls.
Jericho
Yeah.
with the bat,
Mm-hmm.
and Osprey ended up coming to and fighting out of it.
Yep.
Don Callis was there and
Yeah.
didn't do anything, which I thought was great because I I don't need that.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
he
think
already.
Osprey needs it.
Yeah, because he was already on commentary for the six man, and that's kind of his main story is his stuff with Takeshita.
Yeah, right. I
Yeah.
I I just want I just wanted Osprey to beat Jericho clean, and he did.
Mm-hmm.
And he did the hidden blade. Uh, he did the Stormbreaker, hidden blade, and then another Stormbreaker. And but they started off really hot too, because I think like 30 seconds into the match, Osprey hit the star press to the floor.
Yeah.
Um, After the match, Guevara went to console Jericho, and
But
Jericho
Jericho just pushed him away.
wanted nothing to do with it.
Hmm.
And I don't think that it's what people may think. People will probably think, "Oh, Jericho's mad that Sammy couldn't help him win." I don't think that's it. I think Jericho's new story coming out of this is going to be, should I still be wrestling? Are the people who are trying to predict my demise on social media correct? I'm losing this year. I'm confused. I don't want to bring Sammy down with me. I think he's good. I think his next story is going to be one of internal struggle. Um, I don't think it's going to be Sammy versus Chris. Like,
No.
if anything, Sammy will be trying to convince Chris that he's still worth something.
Yeah. I mean, we may get a match that may lead to a match between Sammy and Chris, which Chris can win, and Sammy can be like, "Look, you still got it." You know, that could happen at some point. But
Good.
on a side note, the person who designed Will Ospreay's gear on Twitter, their name is D underscore Tapla, Tapla. If you want to look them up, they actually tweeted about, you know, that Will Ospreay used their gear, which is pretty cool. I just wanted to shout them out for that. But no, man, this match just had like everything that you could want. I feel like obviously Jericho still can go at this age. Ospreay is very much the Billy Goat, as he likes to call himself. I think I put this on Twitter as well, but or X, whatever. And it's that Will Ospreay. Every match that I see of Ospreay just makes me more and more impressed about him. And I also said that I know that Ricochet and him have wrestled before, but I would just like Ricky to get out of WWE just so they can run it back again. At some point. You know.
It would be great to see how they both would wrestle each other now. Because when they both wrestled each other before, Ricochet had uh, not been brainwashed into WWE style, and Osprey didn't put on the weight, so he was
Yeah.
still very much a flippy kind of guy.
Yeah.
It would be interesting just to see the WWE influence and the main event influence, the WWE influence on Ricochet and the main event type of influence on Osprey if they went against each other again.
Yeah. It'll be a totally different
'Cause
match.
it wouldn't be exactly.
That's
and still be fucking great.
yeah, it would. I mean, I'm sure they'd still, do all kinds of shit like tombstone and choke slam and shit each other in the air and then pin someone else before they all land on the mat. And yeah, that's probably the mat. This like half the match would be up in the air. So, you know, it would still be up in the air.
Yes.
But no, overall, but I think yeah, Will Ospreay winning here, makes sense. We're in Wembley and it's his home country. But on top of that, yeah, I mean, the fact that Jericho putting over Osprey, I mean, good on him. I mean, that shows why he is
That's another thing,
the
right?
goat.
That's another moment. That's another moment. Osprey, not even an AEW contracted wrestler, wins at AEW's, not just AEW, but the biggest wrestling event in history
Yep.
in his hometown. Big, big,
I
big
mean,
moment.
yeah.
Then we got the penultimate match, which was the AEW Trios
Yeah.
Championship.
Can you believe it?
House of Black gets acclaimed and Daddy Ass, and
well,
I fucking loved it.
well, it's badass Billy Gunn now. He wasn't daddy ass for the match,
Yes,
but yes,
I love this match. I loved House of Black's entrance. I loved
yes.
whenever Malachi came out first, and then they kind of flanked him. I loved their gear. I loved the Gray's Lantern.
The
I loved the
Fireflies.
Firefly. I fucking loved all of that. I loved Max Caster's rap. I I said a couple shows ago that changes needed to happen to the acclaimed in this whole thing with Daddy Ass slash Badass Billy Gunn is what needed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
They needed some kind of change, some kind of stir, and this was perfect for them. Um, the match was pretty rad, and during the match, they cut to Mercedes Monet again, and I
Yep.
was like, "Yo, if Mercedes aligns herself with the acclaimed, that would be so fucking cool." Like, and I half expected her to get involved in the come down and slap Julia Hart or beat the shit out of Julia Hart after Julia pulled the ref.
Hmm.
Like I was hoping that would happen, but that did not happen.
Instead,
Um, they
instead we got them doing
they
the
did do scissor.
scissor me timber onto Julia Hart, which was like, damn, like,
Yes, but that happened before she pulled the ref too.
oh,
But yeah,
yeah,
I was
that's
just
right.
about to say that's what I loved it.
Yeah, and like, I mean, good, and also like big props to Julia Hart for willing to take that move.
Yes. We ended up
Mm-hmm.
getting a 3-on-1 uh kind of beat down on Brody King, and Max Caster got the pin with a mic drop. After the match, House of Blacks took the titles off of them and then gave them to them, rewarded them with them, which I thought was classy
Mm-hmm.
and cool.
But also kind of fits with their
Now,
character in a way.
yeah, yeah. And this trios match between the six of them was way better than their trios match a pay-per-view or two ago. I
Yeah,
I don't remember um it, it wasn't Forbidden Door, but it was the other pay-per-view. I felt
the
like that match was
Revolution or
kind of
no?
off. I don't remember.
Yeah,
Double or Nothing maybe.
something.
It didn't feel it didn't feel like it was clicking, but this match really did
Yeah,
click. Now, my question for you is, where do House of Black go from here?
I think I saw somewhere, and I kind of agree with this, but I would love to see Malachi get like a singles title run at some point. I mean, House of Black versus CMFTR could be an interesting feud. I think if they're since they're on Collision, um, but
So Malachi going for the real world championship.
yeah, I would love that.
I I like that idea. I want Malachi to get a singles push. There's another guy I want to see get a singles push, and that's Brody King. Uh, he
Yep.
has champion written all over him as well. And at All Out, if Darby Allin beats Luchasaurus, I think they could run back Brody and Darby.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
But this time, don't. Oh, we forgot to talk about one other match. We forgot to talk about, speaking of Darby Allin, we forgot to talk about the coffin match.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
I know.
The coffin match fucking ruled.
It was. It was great.
When Christian tied up Darby's hands, I said that never stopped Darby before. I've seen him fly through the ropes and cannonball people. And literally like 30 seconds, 45 seconds after I said that, he did it. And I was like, see, I told you. And then Swerve, man.
Swerve
Swerve was
is.
the first person to come out for this match.
He came out.
He had somebody rap for him. Did he have DJ Who Kid? Is that who they said that one of them was?
Maybe.
Because if it was DJ Who Kid, that's a big deal, in my opinion. But he came out looking like a star, walking like a star, grabs the mic and says, "Whose house?" 3 times. And that whole place said Swerve's house. And man, it would be a huge disservice to wrestling fans everywhere if Swerve does not end up getting an AEW championship,
Down the
main
line,
championship, by mid 24. That's the timeline I'm giving you, Tony. If you don't have one of the main belts on Swerve by end of spring, beginning of summer of 2024, I'm probably going to continue watching your shows.
I was about to say, I was like, bro. I mean,
But I loved the vignette with Sting being Jack the Ripper with Darby. John's mom almost lost her mind because whenever Sting came out in the red and black, she thought he was wearing a Wolfpack shirt. She was going to lose her mind.
oh, she liked the wolf pack. Nice.
Let's see. This match had a lot of great action, and the feud between Darby and Christian was exacerbated, especially whenever Swerve was looking to pretty much end the match against Sting, and Christian was on the outside, just like choking the life out of Darby and just putting the title in front of him and saying, "You're never going to touch this again." I liked that. The match, the ending was creative. There was a part where Darby Allin missed a coffin drop onto the coffin, and Excalibur said "coffin flop," and
Nice.
I almost pissed
Yeah,
myself.
that was funny.
And it's incredible if you put Sting's short time in WWE against the time he's been in AEW. It's
Yeah.
incredible the difference.
Yeah.
Like
I saw.
incredible.
So I did see a tweet about that as well. I saw like someone posting a clip of Sting's entrance at WrestleMania again for his match against Triple H, and Michael Cole. I think Vince was being cheeky, but he I guess told Michael Cole to say this. But Michael Cole's like, "Yeah, Sting, this is what WrestleMania feels like," or some crazy shit like that. Just kind of rubbing it in his face almost because he is a WCW guy and shit like that. And also because he never came to WWE and in his prime, but now seeing Sting perform in front of, like you said, like we talked about, the biggest wrestling event ever, like that's the big. I think that's like the biggest fu he can give to WWE. It's like, look, in a rival promotion, we beat your attendance records, and I had a great match. So have fun with that.
It was great.
Yeah.
I'm hard pressed to look at this card and say there was anything I was disappointed in.
No, nothing at all.
At
I mean,
all.
yeah, there
Like,
were.
I really cannot find anything that I did not like.
Yeah, I mean, if you nitpick, yeah, you'll see. This could have been better. That could have been better. But it didn't really take away from my enjoyment from the show.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I would nitpick think about is some parts in the stadium stampede.
Yeah,
Like I feel like uh,
Claudio should have been pinned
which I
by.
already said,
Yeah,
Eddie, and I wanted to see him set on fire. I wanted to see Eddie make good on his on what he said. But the obvious the obvious match of the night for me was the main event. Uh, the storytelling
oof,
between Adam Cole and MJF was so fucking good,
yeah, because both of
and
them. Go ahead.
the match the match started off, and they decided to both put on their shirts, and
Yeah,
they
that
had
was
great
great.
chain wrestling exchange, and then like they were doing, Max put out his hand to shake, everything was cool. The next time he did it,
He
he
poked his
poked
eye.
Adam in the eyes, but he didn't take advantage of it, you know.
That was
He
weird.
let
Yeah,
Adam sit a while, and then he went to pick him up, you know, and he apologized, and then Adam slapped him across the mouth, and then we started seeing this fiery, angry, almost heel Adam Cole, and like Cole MJF was going to do the dive to the outside. He decided not to. Cole came up behind him, hit him with the super kick. He started slapping him in the head and saying, "Even though I'm your friend, I'm better than you," and blah 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 blah, all this stuff. And it was like, oh shit, you know. And there were two different times that MJF could have done something dirty to Cole. One was the tombstone on the table. He couldn't bring himself to do it. Hitting them with the diamond ring, he couldn't do it.
couldn't do it. No.
But Cole was having an easier time making these decisions.
Yeah, because it's like
And
MJF.
Roddy,
MJF cared more about the friendship than the title, and vice versa.
yes, yes. And like Roddy got involved a couple of times. He hit
Yeah, when the
MJF in the nuts, and
yeah
then
the ref was down.
um, you know, we get to this point where the ref was gonna call it a draw. Adam asked for 5 more minutes. MJF said, "No, we're going until we have a fucking winner in Wembley."
The winner in fucking
And
Wembley. Yeah.
there was there was a roll up exchanges, and like it just kept the emotional roller coaster
Just
of
kept going.
who's gonna turn, when's it gonna happen. Oh my god, I can't believe MJF's a sweetheart. Oh my god, all these things. Uh, MJF ends up winning with a roll up, I believe.
Yeah.
And and immediately after, you know, Cole's really upset, and he goes over and he says, "It's all right. I got lucky. These people still love you." And then he gives him the ROH tag belt.
And Cole just
Cole
throws it
throws it out.
aside.
And then MJF said, "I'm stupid. I believe that you were my friend, but you actually used all of this
Yeah.
was just a use to get this, wasn't it?"
So here,
And he
fucking
said, "You
take
know
it.
what?
You know?
You can have." Dude, that was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Could anyone months before any of this happened, could anyone ever imagine MJF throwing the triple B at someone and saying, "Take it"? Like, no,
Yeah.
never. You know, that's not the character. That's
Yeah.
not the character we know.
And
The
then
character we know is, I have no friends. I lost my fiance. The only thing that matters to me is this championship. And now he's at a point where he finally has a real friend. And even if he thinks this man is not going to be his friend anymore because he just beat him, he throws the title at him. Like, that shit was fucking incredible.
yeah.
And
And
then
then yeah.
stupid ass bitch Roderick Strong gets back, and
Because MJF
you
says,
know
"All right, fine,
he's
here,
telling,
here, do it," and then he's like standing
yeah,
behind him like
he's
that.
doing it.
I'm standing against a wall. I can't do it much, but yeah. And then Adam Cole's about to do it, and Roddy's like, "Do it! I'm your real friend." He keeps saying, "I'm your real friend." He keeps doing that, but then Cole,
I'm your best friend. Yeah.
I'm your real best friend, whatever. And he throws, and Adam just can't do it. He just throws it out, and they hug, and streamers and streamers.
Before
Yeah,
before the hug though, Cole's in one corner, MJF's over here. They're staring at each other. Roddy is still on the apron.
Yeah.
I really, really wished Adam would
Just
have
decked
super kicked his ass off of it.
or decked him with the belt. Yeah.
Yeah, something. But
Something.
yeah,
And then
they
now,
hug.
yeah,
Everybody's happy.
and Roddy's like taken back by the Kingdom. So I guess that's the next
What,
feud for.
were they there? I
Mhm.
didn't see that.
They came towards the end.
Uh,
They came towards the end while Cole and MJF were celebrating. Like Roddy and was being dragged away by the Kingdom. So it looks like that's the next feud for Cole and MJF.
yeah,
So,
that. Yeah,
for the ROH
they're
titles.
gonna. Yeah, that's the immediate thing. The Kingdom with Roddy Strong feuding with Better Than You, Baby for the ROH Tag Team titles,
Mm-hmm.
which will be interesting to see how they maneuver MJF as champion as well. Um, right now, um, I think they may focus. The focus is going to be on the ROH Tag Team Championship
Mm-hmm.
because coming out of this show in particular, um, if the Cole stuff is done for now,
Yeah.
is there a clear cut contender for the AEW championship? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. So,
So MJF
I
just.
imagine.
I was saying MJF might just do exactly what he did. Do what he said. Go all the way until his contract ends. He's gonna be champion, and we'll see.
Yeah, I imagine that the tag team title will get
The main event
get the
spot.
spotlight, and then when it's time for the turn, it will be Cole versus MJF again. And by that time, we will have some idea or notion of who else would be in contention for that title. Who knows? Maybe it'll be the winner of the Omega Takeshita uh, feud.
Yeah.
I'm not sure because I don't understand if there's a brand split or not. I'm
Yeah.
not sure
I don't
about
know.
it.
I mean, they still need to have CM Punk versus MJF again because both of them are carrying around a freaking title. So I know it's not ideal, but we have to do it, unfortunately.
All I'm saying is if all that shit was true that Fightful and all that was saying, and what you told me that I had just heard on this show is true, fuck him, fuck his fake ass title, fuck everything about it. Fuck everything about him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway.
Man.
Impact has a show on tonight. Emergence.
Oh, they do?
Sonata's facing Jake something. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
some shit's going down over there tonight. But anyways, is there anything else you want to say about AEW All In?
Other than that, I had an amazing time watching it. Just overall, a tremendous show, and I'm excited that they're coming back to do it again next year, August 25th.
I was just about to say,
Yep.
I'm very happy that they announced that they're going to do it again next year. And I hope to God that AEW can continually draw like this. I want these big shows for them. I love this show. I'd give it a solid A.
Yeah.
Match of the night for me was the main event, but I was pleasantly entertained by the entire show. And Armbar Audio will be back maybe next weekend, maybe the weekend after. And you know what we do here, everything except the Fed. So with that, wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, noon, or night, you have a great one. Peace and love to all of you. Bang.
Follow the buzzards.